All right. As a reminder, this is All-Star Draft. So as you know, bonds that get chosen in previous rounds are unavailable for later rounds. But for this first round, it's going to play out like normal draft. Just ban out the strong mons, the annoying ones. Your Charizard Ys, your Psyducks, your Typhlosions, Snorlax. Snorlax is, I do agree with this ban. This mon right now is the most powerful defender. Heavy Slam block is no joke. It was always strong. Blastoise got toned down. Blastoise stocks go down. Snorlax stocks go up. You know what I mean? Same with Articuno. Another troublesome defender. Can freeze you at will if close enough, and it doesn't have to be too close to do that. Much agreed. Last pick for 5RB, last ban. Most likely going to be Umbreon. Let's get rid of these bulky frontline mons out of the picture. They want to have a clean draft. First pick going to Gorilla Goo. Speaking of, we got the four-armed man. We got the champ. Has been coming into his own in recent seasons. Submission is insane. But here's the thing. The champ has virtually been the same character since launch. So submission has always been good. And this is everyone's now just catching on. Over at 5RB, we're going to have a Blissey. We're going to have an Enabler. We got the at Death Egg. We're going to also have Moltres. This mon probably playing top lane. Wants to go in there. Wants to get its stacks. Wants to get to his level 5 ASAP. It's going to be enabled by Blissey, so that's probably going to be their top lane. In response, we're going to need something good. We're going to need some mons to control space in the front line. Along with the champ, we got to slow down that slugger. Blastoise is another excellent choice, along with Hoopa. Hoopa is a pretty strong A-presser, especially in the early laning phase. It is not to be underestimated. In response, we're going to have Crustle and Latios. Their team comp is shaping up. It's a bit of a balanced composition for 5RB. They like to do a quote-unquote predicted president composition. You have like a bunch of bulky frontliners and a good attacker in the back getting massive damage. That's the formation. Last two picks over here for CC Yellow and the orange team, where it's going to be Raichu and a Palmont. Some good suppressive fire from the Raichu and a good diver from Palmont. And it can be enabled by a Hoopa if Hoopa is going Trick. So yeah, we got some dive mons. We got some engage mons from CCL going up against the balanced composition of 5RB. Granted, they are frontline heavy for 5RB. But if they can deal with that Latios, keep him low on stacks, then this can work out for CCL. Final preparations in order. We're in a new season of ranked. We pray for no crashes at all. That is just a huge time waster. 1 second left. About to get started here. Look at all these pretty skins and license arts. I really like Moltres, but yo, that Latios skin is OD. It's so good. But Blastoise, love the classics. Got the shades. Got a firefighter. It's so appropriate. And everyone else is basically naked. So, is what it is. And here we go. Top lane, we're going to have Chansey and Moltres. In the jungle, we're going to have Surfetch. Bottom lane is going to be Latios and Crustle. Interesting choice. They want to enable the Surfetch as fast as possible, not so much the Latios for the gank. Crustle scouting out ahead in case of possible invades. Squirtle and Pikachu, that will soon become a Raichu, is at bottom lane. Latios getting that big double secure, putting him ahead and making Squirtle passive. Over in the jungle, we're going to have Palmon, almost at level 5, going to be ready. And now at the top, we're going to have Hoopa, along with Machop. Chop getting a lot of that farm right there. His level has 11 Eos energy. It's night 10, so more ball toy spawns at the top. Every piece of farm counts. It is a 3-on-3 up top, but it's soon going to be actually, it's going to be a 4-on-3 for 5RB side. Crystal has to go back. Pikachu also has to go back. Lotus at the bottom up by itself. Not ideal. A bit of a ball skirmishing out right before the 850B spawned. There it is. It looks like Palma's got a good bulk of that. We got 2 level 5 mons already. Ladius, the level 5 is going to begin stacking ASAP. All right, it's going to be a juicy stack. Ooh, all right. All right, get some stacks here. Very important. Squirtle's pushing up very aggressively. And his fate is sealed thanks to the Rock Tomb. Pikachu's next. It's not a Raichu. Well, Latias goes down, ejecting to try to live. Good cleanup on Raichu, but a good follow-up from Crustle. A champ running in. But that's a safeguard. He can't be grabbed. He's got to wait out the time, but the longer the time goes on, the slower he runs in submission. Good safeguard. Re-heal that Machoke. And it's past 8 minutes. That means Regidrago is available. Who's gonna get it? Looks like 5RB is all over it. No one to contest it either. Let's check back on top. A big invasion. Hoopa's gotta send everybody home. Regidrago is secured by Sir Fetch. That's a knockout. Choke looking for a grab. He found a grab, but no, he whiffed the grab and more stacks for Latios. Not bad at all. All right. Gonna be a major push. Top pad. Blissey gets a score in. Palmet's in danger. He's gonna go down to Blissey. Moltres getting a little overzealous with the score. He's gonna go down too. More stacks for Latios. It's starting to add up. Fetched almost level 9, almost fully active. Gonna try to get a score in, get some stacks. That is 3 meteors. That means Latios has at least 25 Eon stacks. For every 25 Eon stacks, he gains an additional meteor. More meteors equals more damage. A bit slow paced here. In this game 1, the score is 104-0, so 5RB sitting pretty right now. Just trying to get farm wherever possible. Then it's going to be a heat wave to secure it. Moltres going to have 2 attempts at a heat wave every time he has a boosted active. That's going to be a submission, but there is the safeguard. But Choke goes down. He just needs those levels. Honestly, they might consider lighting that bad break up top. All right, Regidrago's going to fall towards 5RB. That's another knockout. All right, 36 or 30-something overcap, not too shabby. We're going to investigate the jungle here. More farm has appeared at Descendant. We're going to have both defenders duke it out at the bottom. Interesting to have both defenders not be active in the teamfight up top. Usually one of them peels off. Blastoise is at level 9, so he has been getting the best of Crustle out here, but Crustle's not too far behind. And the gap keeps widening, 166-0. That is a lot of E-balls on the field on the side of CCL. Trying to defer. Uh-oh. Joe, the Rock Tomb just finished just in time so Blastoise can surf out of there. Uh-oh. Machamp is going platinum, but the safeguard. Uh-oh. There's going to be a lot of damage here. Blastoise takes the bus home and is back getting a surf, but getting stuck on the wall. That's a lot of stacks for Latios. They gotta be careful. And it's also running telekinesis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has at least 75 Eon stacks already in the mid-game. Blastoise ulting in. Hydro Typhoon. Who's gonna get a pick? It's going to be double kill for the Moltres. And a kill for Raichu. Palmot going in, finally finding his opportunity. Another kill for Moltres. Triple kill. Raichu's all over Regice, but it is being leashed back, and the health is going to regenerate. The champ trying to get some value at the top. 34 points. Getting him on the board. Massive Surf. Almost taking down Surfetch, but he has the tech to protect himself. This fight down here is basically a stalemate. And that's not too shabby for either team. A lot of farmers going to be spawning very often in about a 50-second interval. This is looking to be the game state for a while until we reach the 2-minute mark for Kyogre. Hoopa's calling someone over to the top. It's going to be Raichu. Less hands on deck for the bottom. It might be a bait for Fire to push, but no one's budging. Palma's going to have to commit out of there. Doesn't want to get sealed away by Rock Tomb. Yeah. This is a bit of a, technically a slow-paced match. Not too much has happened. And both teams are content with just farming here. Armon getting that charge, ready to go. Finding its opportunity, taking damage on Crustle. Big meters from the Latios. He has at least 100 Eon stacks. Latios is almost fully prepared. He just needs levels to scale. That's a lot of damage on Blastoise. Gonna have to back up with the Surf. Palma secures the Reggie Ice. All right, those meters are starting to hurt. We're reaching the end game now. 40 seconds left. Score is 216 to 36. Now, this is the ideal situation that 5RB wants. They have a good level. They have a good, they have a level lead. They have point lead. That means they have to commit to an action. They have to commit to a team fight or rip the objective or some combination of the two. Given a team composition, they can rip a little bit with Raichu. Or they can engage with mons like Machamp and Palmont. Safeguard's going to make that hard. It's going to make that difficult. The tech from Surfetch is going to make that difficult. Telekinesis is on Latios, and it wants you to run into it to get more damage from the Draco Meteor. It's going to be a tough team fight for CC Yellow. There is the Rock Tomb to seal away an entry point to create a choke point for the team. Uh-oh, Crustle's in nature. He's gonna have to ult right now if he wants to live. There's a massive shield. A huge X-Scissor. Hydro Typhoon. People are going down here. Yep, and they took the bus home. It's time to rip, boys and girls. 5RB's on the case. Kyogre, almost halfway dead already. Crustle stuffing out the Hoopa. Hoopa's already put all in. They just need to get the secure. It's winding now. Latios is getting ready. And Draco Meteor, damage, and Blissey secure. Kyogre has been taken. Hero lead the way. Uh-oh. That's gonna really hurt now. A big Machamp buddy just doesn't have the levels to do all the damage. Game 1's looking like it's going to go to 5RB. That gap will only widen. That pad isn't real right now. It has been debuffed by Kyogre. No healing, no shields. It's basically an empty space to be scored on. Wow, pretty good game 1 for 5RB. They didn't have to press the issue too much. That is the nature to their comp due to the Latios not being active until the mid game if he gets his stacks, which Hero did. Good job here. There is, everyone's just fighting out, padding their stats. Is what it is. Might as well play it out. This is your copy of the game after all. And time is up. Let's check out the final score here. It is 784 to 36. 5RB with a definitive, dominant game 1. Looking at the details page. Yep, we have Tooth as the MVP. 7 KOs, 7 assists, but what cracked that final fight wide open? Blastoise did get a good engage with the surf, but you have to be careful who you surf in. You surfed Crustle into your team composition, and against a team with close range mons. So that Crustle got a Rumble Rouser and got massive value. That could have worked. That Surf Play could have worked had there been enough damage over for CC Yellow. But the damage just wasn't there. It was close, but it wasn't there. Crustle was able to clean up. Everyone also was able to follow up, and it was all history from there. Battle Data also supports this. Good damage for Kiro, 90,000 damage dealt. Excellent job. Looking forward to see what these guys come up with next. Coming into game 2, sit tight. All right, back again, once again, for round number 2. Let's see what they got. Remember, All-Star, those 10 previous Mons, they're ancient history, don't even worry about them. Today is a new day. IRB, right now, leading the set 1-0 in game number 2. This is the draft right now. So far, same bands as before. They don't want to deal with these problematic Mons, but here is the secret. There will always be problematic Mons, way more than 6. It just comes down to what you guys want to deal with or not deal with. Gonna have RB as first pick. Luna's gonna pick something pretty strong. That is a Vaporeon, a flexible pick. It could be acting as a defender with Muddy Water. It could be acting as a support with Aqua Ring. A lot of choices to be made. It comes down to what CC Yellow picks. They're going to start off with a Zacian, and they're going to start off with a Mamoswine. Starting off pretty strong, in my opinion. Zacian is a win condition all on its own. It can rip and secure objectives all by itself. Just needs to be protected a little bit. And also needs to keep up its Eos energy points up. Mamoswine is a strong laner. Creates a lot of space. Gets a lot of defenses due to its passive. The more damage it deals, the higher its defense and special defense goes up. As a response, we're going to have 5RB, 2 more strong picks of their own. They're going to have a Trevenant, can control a lot of space with One Hammer Hornleech, or the Pain Split build with Curse. And we also have Zapdos, one of the strongest early games in this game, in my opinion. Discharge is incredible, does a lot of damage, can secure. Not the best, but it still does a lot of damage. You have to watch out for it. You have to maintain your life when you're around it, especially in the early game. Next 2 picks over for CC Yellow, we're going to have Eldegoss, a healing support, much needed. And we're going to have Miraidon, Hero on Miraidon. Good charge beam, good engage, good pressure, and a longer range. That is important. Something to pressure the Zapdos with. Speaking of pressure, last pick for 5RB, it will be Garchomp and Talonflame. Those are very good engages themselves. This team is a lot of engages and some dive and a stunner with a mage stunner with Zapdos. Last pick was also going to be Mimikyu. So yeah, both teams are pretty balanced here out. The only main difference is their attackers. One is sustained damage, one is burst damage. Though I will say, due to all the engages that 5RB has at their disposal, and yes, Flip Turn Vaporeon also counts, that Mamoswine's going to have its hands full. If they can keep the Miraidon and the Mamoswine up, they can fight through this pressure. Though it won't be easy. Checking out here, it looks like someone crashed. That would explain why the game needed to load during the drafting phase. No crashes on both sides. All right, well, we're going to deal with that. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. This game is what it is at this point. All right. Everyone has been sedated. This is good. This is good news. We get to be the trainers we're always meant to be. Everyone's moving in. Checking it out. I have Luna, Vaporeon up top with the Gibble. Bottom is going to be Zapdos and Trevenant. They're going off against Mamo and Miraidon. So far, so good. Everyone's getting a neutral farm, barring the crash. Mimikyu's over here, about to reach level 5. Zacian and Eldegoss is over here at the top. Zacian is in mortal danger, just gonna have to quick attack right out of there. Almost time for 850. More farm's gonna be competed for. Telephon's getting a lot of good damage on the Eldegoss. Mimikyu is showing presence, showing pressure with it just being there. Zapdos facing back, heading through the flux zone. It's gonna be there just in time for 850. Time for dig damage. Zapdos is here. Honestly, they can make a big push for top if they so wish. But looks like the moment has passed. Zapdos is like, all right, I'm a little bit late. I take responsibility. Wait, guys, Spartans, help! There's a Mimikyu here. Let's get this farm. Brand's coming up to help. Zapdos almost reaching level 5. There's going to be a big push here at the top. Zacian not level 5, pushing a bit too early. Eldegoss is not level 4 either. And then their farm shows up. Unfortunate, mistimed it. Bite's going to get all that farm on the side. Almost time for Regidrago. Mamoswine doing a Godzilla big over at the bottom. Being the tank that this team needs. Regidrago has spawned in. Zapdos, level 5. Trevenant, level 5. Everyone's level 5. Barring Eldegoss. Oh, they got scooped up by the Ice Fang. Passive activates for Trevenant. It's going to be able to live that exchange. There's a Woodhammer. They want this. Uh-oh, they want this Mamo. And they're going to have it. Thunderbolts. Discharge. Focus Band procs. Not enough, though. KO. More charge beams. More entry damage. Down goes. Oh, man. Down goes some players. Double KO for the Mimikyu. Shadow sneaking right in. Another charge beam, but it's going to get healed off by Aqua Ring. That's the versatility of Vaporeon. That has reduced the effectiveness of charge beam from Miraidon greatly. This is going to be a tough game for CC Yellow. More objectives are spawning in. Drago's available. Regieleki's at the bottom, and up at the top is Regirock. Who's going to fight for what? Looks like both teams are just more interested in farm. Both the all-arounders are going to head to the top. Jason's level 5. Goodbite is also level 8. Ooh, it's about to reach level 9 soon. Looks like a place being made for Regidrago. They're not terribly interested in either. More people are heading towards the top. Bottom is a bit of a stalemate. Zapdos is getting the message, also heading towards the top. They want to fight for this Regirock. They want to get their all-arounders enabled. Down goes Goodbite. Jason's like, finally, this objective is mine. 20 more points for me. Talonflame has an ult, but it can't really do too much. It has its hands full. Reinforces has a rights. That's going to be a big Zap Cannon and a Thunderbolt and a Fly. Secured KO. You guys couldn't shake it, but I was shaking my fist when I got that KO. All right. This is about to be a car chump. There it is. That's a big Metal Claw, but Vaporeon has an ult. Sucking in that Zacian. This is going to be a big full assault on the top. That is a Zap Cannon that actually ticked them. 40 points, 26 points, more points. 30 for Zapdos, 30 for Big Zap. There it is. Talonflame is out of there. Trevenant's holding it down at the bottom. He alone is enough. He alone can make the difference. If you keep this mammal from becoming fully evolved, that'd be ideal. No one can quite see it. Zapdos might react to it in time. No dice. We had some objectives being taken. All right. Both teams are mostly at the bottom, barring 2 members of 5RB. That means it's time to advance. Uh-oh, that's a big Warhammer, but that is a full heal. Mimikyu's not done yet, but Trevenant, you can't do that to Trevenant. He's too strong. Double KO. All right, that's a huge Zacian ult. He's going in with the player off. He whiffed the Metal Claw, but he got the pickup on Vaporeon. Down goes, down goes Zapdos and Talonflame, followed by Zacian. We now have a Mamoswine. This is going to be a very different team fight now. Mimikyu's like, all right, I got to get this started. I got to hurry up. More members are going to show up. They don't have ults right now, barring the Vaporeon. There's another Shadow Sneak. Here's some Metal Claws. There it is, going down. Who's going to get it? It is Trevenant. Back in effect. Trevenant's going to get that secure. It is much needed for that team. Knockout. Big Woodhammer with the Zap Cannon, but that's okay. We're going to get the score here. The lead will extend 213 to 34. Zacian's like, all right, I've been eating pretty well. About to have 22 points and an objective all to myself. Give me more, feed me more. Uh-oh. Zacian's got company here. Time to back off. He wants nothing to do with this, and I don't blame him. Wait, that's Zacian's farm. Oh, no! That's Garchomp's farm. Give me that. All right. Big Thunderbolt here. Zapdos has ulted, but Miraidon has gotten Registeel. Not bad at all. Another big Zap Cannon. Mammo's all up in his face, but there's not enough damage there. You're gonna pay for that one, sir. KO with the Zap Cannon. Well, score right now is 253 to 34. About 30 seconds left to another Kyogre fight. Everything is winding down. Both teams getting some last-minute farm, getting fully prepared. Garchomp's holding top. Rest of the team's holding the center. Talonflame's at the bottom. They have all their pads available. They can play from a lot of different spots. Rhydon's going to be bush checking. Ammo as well. They need a good juicy pick here. CCL has to make the first move. So patient. 30 seconds has passed, just about. Only a minute 30 left. That's a big Zap Cannon. Not yet. They're not ready to engage yet. CCL should be feeling the pressure right about now. Talonflame has went for a back cap. I don't think they can catch this guy. He took Zacian with him, but over at the center, however, no big fights yet. Yeah, about a minute left. Yep. CCL has to make a move. Zacian's like, all right, I understand the assignment. I'm gonna have to find my way into that objective. We gotta get a win condition somehow. He's just getting extra information. The ball is in Zacian's court. He has to make a move. Miraidon's gonna get the okie dokie and start charging the Kyogre. Trevenant is there, however. That is a huge Horned Leech Woodhammer. Trevenant has ulted. They're getting him out for the pit, which is what they want. Zacian has to find its way in. The longer this go on, the better it gets for 5RB. That's a Mimikyu ult. That's huge. A massive Zacian ult. That's a big sword. Zap Cannon KO. No, wait. Down goes... Uh-oh. People are going down. Down goes Garchomp. Down goes Talonflame. But they only have to stall for 20 more seconds. Ripping is not in the cards. It's time for defense. That's not enough. 10 seconds left. Uh-oh. You can't rip it in time either. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Game over. You're behind. You have to be decisive. You have no choice. You must Be decisive. Final score 317 to 96. 5RB holding that lead to the very end. It is a bit of a low-scoring game, but they were in the lead. They did just enough. To this MVP, under 4 points scored, and that pretty much sealed the deal. CCL was a bit too passive there. But it was hard to get in on that team. Garchomp, Trevenant, Zapcan and Zapdos, Vaporeon. It's hard to engage that team. It's hard to get good sustainable damage on a team with healing support from Vaporeon and Aqua Ring. Tough break. Looks like 5RB had the stronger draft. At mains, CCL didn't feel quite comfortable with ripping the objective in. You saw what happened when they tried. Better luck next time for them in game number 3. Here we are, game number 3. More draft, more problems. And the same draft as before. These guys just do not like these mons. They provide too much value too quickly. I understand it. Get them out of here. They're not fun to play with or against. Here's someone new, however. We got the blue mon with the goalpost on his forehead. We're going to have Suicune being banned. That is an interesting choice. That is another mon controlling the mid-range along with Articuno and Umbreon. What is 5RB up to? They want more engages. That has been their MO. And Suicune is a good one to slow them down. All right. It is now game 3. 2 games have passed. That means 10 Mons out of there. There's about 70 left, though, so there's plenty of choices. Like that Typhlosion, for example. A strong first pick. Typhlosion is pretty flexible. It is a strong attacker. Once it gets its levels, once it gets to 7, it's going to be doing a lot of eruption, has a lot of flame wheels for repositioning, and when it's ready to engage, it's got that ultimate doing massive damage, building up the meter very quickly, doing even more damage, lower cooldowns. You can do it all. In response, we're going to have CC Yellow. They're going to be picking Slowpoke, Slowbro, and Galarian Rapidash. Interesting choices. Haven't seen this team play those Mons much, but hey, when more Mons are getting banned now, that's to be expected. Back on 5RB, we're going to have a healing support. We're going to have Alcremie. Such a strong pick is still available. And we're also going to have Buzzwole. Arguably the most toxic all-arounder that just is there to check other all-arounders. Very strong choice. Very strong engage. Next 2 picks over for CC Yellow. We're going to have Comfy. We're going to have a healing support. Probably going to be enabling that Galarian Rapidash to great effect. If Rapidash can stay on its feet, very key. We're going to have some range DPS. We're going to have Intel. Intel outranges everybody on that team. Good choice, but that's only if it can live. And what did you know? They got a Delmise. So whenever it chooses to, when it has its ult available, it's going to be all over that Intel. And if you choose to ult it with a Slowbro, that means Typhlosion, Bulbasaur, they get to run wild. And they can control space due to the Alcremie ult. They can sit right there, have their cake and eat it too. Last picks for both teams is going to be Zoroark and Espeon respectively for both teams. Zoroark is another speedster, another diver. They're meeting their engage with engages of their own. This move set for Espeon is interesting. Espeon actually has anti-dive measures, especially from its ultimate and its passive and Psyshock. It has options to deal with dive. This is a good choice. I like it a lot. Will this be a store-powered Espeon to keep light on its feet, or will it be a traditional Psyshock Espeon? We're going to have to find out soon. So far, I'm actually really liking the composition from 5RB, and it's mainly because of that Delmise. That Delmise is playing a very pivotal role. It is very bulky and wants to fight, and we have Mons from the other team. We have 2 species. We have Rapidash, we have Zoroark. They want to engage with you. That means Delmise will be around. If they can't afford to get hook shocked, it's going to be to their detriment. They're going to have to be careful. Ready? Let's go. All right. Cyndaquil will be the jungler this time around. Up in the top lane, we're going to have an all-rounder and a support. At the bottom, we're going to have Espeon and Delmise. Top, as we said, Buzzwole, Alcremie. They'll be going up against Rapidash as a Ponyta with a Comfy. The lane is a bit, well, it's a bit even right now. That Dazzling Gleam is a good secure move this early into the game. Zoroark will be the jungler over for CC Yellow. And at the bottom, we're going to have Subble. And, ooh, Slowpoke has to be passive, has to go away. Subble's in mortal danger, almost getting KO'd outright, but got the shield from the pad. All right, Espeon's like, all right, I got to get to my 4. I got priorities. I'm going to bail. Someone's evolved, and it was the Kolava. Espeon is almost at 4. We're going to have to, there's a lot of farm to compete for. Who's going to get it? All right, we got a Slowbro online. Zoroark up top, going ham. No picks just yet. Everyone's playing their life. Here's a dollop. Eat up. You got to keep your strength up. Uh-oh, getting stuffed out by Flame Will and getting KO'd. This isn't pubs, man. You can't just run us over with Zoroark and a Comfy. Who do you think we are? You better show some respect. 5RB up to a wonderful start, but Zoroark is back. They didn't appreciate that very much. Espeon is in danger. They might have to let this go. Another huge flame wheel. Zoroark getting pick up on Espeon. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Uh-oh. Zoroark is trying to steamroll. Everyone sound the alarm. He's going for cheese. He's desperate, but the 5RB has made them very desperate. A well-timed Flame Wheel, getting massive damage, making the Zoroark passive. Everyone is coming to this jungler's rescue. Alcremie's gonna go down. It has been isolated. We have a Typhlosion. Zoroark is gonna have to be careful. This is a star-powered Espeon. He's gonna stay light on its feet. All right, so far Zoroark is getting good value for CCL, but this is a double-edged sword. They're putting all their eggs mainly in one basket. If Zoroark goes down, their fighting power goes down dramatically. Typhlosion just gets the score just in time. Is this a stacking Typhlosion? This is going to be bad news for this team. Espeon's going to block some of that liquidation from Intel. Well, top lane was trying his best over for 5RB. They couldn't quite get the KO on the slow, bro. But that's fine. We're trying to get this Typhlosion enabled. Delmage is still going to head to the top. Still going to try to make something happen. He can't do much. These pieces are going to get their stacks in. Buswell is coming back. They could potentially get the pick. They're going to have to be careful. Night Typhlosion and company was able to secure Regieleki. That is a knockout. Can't forget that. The pad is now broken. Uh-oh. Whoa, something big's about to happen. We got an intruder. Oh, that's the stuff from Flame Wheel. Flame Wheel's so good. There is the slow smoke. He's gonna pivot back. Uh-oh. That is an ult. Can they catch this guy? Yes, indeed, and dandy. They get it. Next on the chopping block is Comfy. Thanks for the experience, bud. Top lane. We're gonna have Buzzwole, level 7. Needs his levels, is falling a bit behind. But that has the nature due to double speedsters. They can just get scaling quick. That is going to be a Regidraco secure again for purple team. They're just getting all these objectives. All right. Who's gonna get this? Yep, it is going to be Intel getting the Regi Ice. Good stuff. Checking out down here. Another big eruption from Typhlosion. Down goes Comfy, and it's always a 2-for-1 special if they can get their hands on it. Who we grabbing? Who we gonna eat today, Buzzwole? Who we grabbing? There's the eject. Missed it just in time, but a massive hook shot. And an uppercut. Down goes Slowbro. Come here. Let me ball your body. Next is Zoroark without his Comfy. He doesn't like that very much. Oh, Buzzwole got ulted and got sealed away from Ponyta. He was about to get a KO on Zoroark, but there's the pickup anyway. Oh, whew. 5RB is something special. Dominating this game 3. And we're gonna take that blue buff off your hands. Appreciate that. Gonna back up here. We got a Zoroark looking a little bit zesty here. Looking a bit hungry. Oh, he's getting hook shot for his troubles. Nothing's free around here. You wanna fight, you wanna brawl, let's go. Oh no! There's the ult, but a Talon. Oh man, look at all these ults flying in. Typhlosion ulti in to save its life. Zoroark can't quite finish it up. That was a big, so good slow beam from Slowbro, but they just couldn't finish out. Not everyone was there, but he took the risk. He risked it for the biscuit. It just didn't pan out this time. All right, purple team once again getting objectives, getting the Regi Ice. That's another knockout. This has been an intense mid game. But the speedsters are still hungry. Going back in. Getting tagged by Future Sight. Gonna have to back off. Half of CCL is gonna be dealing with the Regieleki. That's gonna take some time. That means free reign for 5RB to get this Regirock. And another knockout. Delmice has vision on some of the players. Let's check this out right here. Gotta hook some of that farm. Every piece counts. Delmice is like, hey, what are you doing here? You can't do this to me. I went to college. Let me get some of that shields. Hey, that's right. Back up, Sunny boy. Sun guy. 5 RB. Moving as an absolute unit, barring Delmice, but Delmice can take care of itself. That bond's an honorary defender. This Typhlosion is going to be level 14 by the end of it. The Zorga has to get to at least 13 if it wants to stay competitive. 30 seconds left. We're winding down to perhaps the last game of this set. Delmice in a risky position, but all of CCL should have seen all of that. If they can take out this Delmice, that will be a huge boon, but that's going to be tough. The more Delmice hits with moves, the bigger its shield. It's going to be tough to take out like that. Grabbing Slowbro, making it passive. It's going to be able to heal that off very quickly. Bustle at the top, watching it for an off angle. Little does he know, most of the other teams at the bottom. That's going to be a bush check in that L bush. Zoroark trying to get a sneaky back cap. Typhlosion says none of that. You're going to have to fight us for real. Still a bit passive here. Delmice about to get another attempt at its hook shot, and I know where he's looking. And I think Zoroark knew too, so he got out of there. Buzzwole still on the off angle, not budging, not showing vision, not showing presence. That is good. He's gonna be he's in a clutch position right now. Some entry damage on Delmice, but I don't think it was worth it. Oh no! Buzzwole coming in. The balance is about to be broken. Rapidash is taking a lot of damage. He's about to get KO'd. Yes, he did. There is the Espeon ult. There is the Store Power. There's the Future Sight. There's a massive hook shot. He's coming in like we said. Uh-oh, oh, now another hook shot. Huge. Typhlosion has ulted in. He's decided we're going to fight right here. We're trying to try to get the score in. There's no way he's going to get that score in. We're going to fight over here. We're going to fight away from that objective. No one's going to have Kyogre. And you got 40 seconds left, and we got the lead. Massive ult from Slowbro, but that's not enough. Alcremion's right there to heal that off, like we said, like we discussed. 5 RP getting that score in, just about sealing the deal. This part is a formality. Let's get some more scores in. We're not going to give you the chance to steal this objective. We don't want it. We want you. We're here for you. We're going to get some scores in on your home base. Ripping it is not in the cards. You guys don't have rip like that. Unfortunate. Typhlosion's like, hey, there's more people here. Let's check it out. Eruption, Flame Wheel, and a secure for Intel. But it won't do too much. Down he goes. 5 RB taking game number 3. Another strong showing. They are the victors of this set. 3-0, a 30 and a handshake. Another strong showing. Yes, indeed. Final score is 703-271. MVP has to be Tooth. It has to be Typhlosion. 182 points scored, 9 KOs, 8 assists. He was able to stuff out that Zoroark whenever possible. Eruption and Flame Wheel is one hell of a combination. It was always on its feet and it was always doing damage. That is the #1 way to preserve your health. You gotta have a good offensive component. And they just had it. They just had it all the way. Battle data also supports this. About 70,000 damage dealt respectively from between Kiro and Tooth. Good stuff here. Good numbers. What a good game. Let's see if we can get an interview this time around from 5RB. Just sit tight and we'll be right there. All right. Joining me here, Slugger Call, Slugger of 5RB. Congratulations, dude. That was an exciting set from you guys and a dominant one on that. How you guys feeling?
Thank you. We feel really good after that set. It felt always can be cleaner, but it felt not too bad.
Yep, I would agree. You guys have some nasty dive comps, even in All Star Draft. They just kept coming. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think drafting like first game, like all the big three top laners was able to get taken right away, which allowed that to not be a problem the rest of the drafts, like Moltres, Fetch, and Machamp being all taken care of. And then the rest of it, I think we were able to prioritize our support and our defender picks a lot, which helped us build around what we wanted to do the rest of the drafts.
Agreed. You guys had very balanced scaling. Every lane had a partner to enhance the stars of the show. You guys rotated when you needed to rotate. Especially, I like the really early rotates over for the first gank at 850. It helps out a ton, believe it or not.
Yeah, the four-man ganks are very helpful a lot, especially like when you can get potential picks or stacks on your carries. It goes a long way into snowballing a game.
Yeah, especially when you can like leave like a strong laner like Zapdos at the bottom, just soaking up all that farm. It's so good at that.
Exactly. It just does a lot of work on its own without a partner.
Not bad, not bad. Let's talk about game two a little bit. You guys were we'll talk about the Kyogre fight. It was Kyogre all three games. Speaking of which, how do you guys feel about the Kyogre as the final boss objective?
We like Kyogre more because in case if the other team is able to get Groudon, if it's harder, like they could pop us with the Groudon buff versus Kyogre, it's a lot. We can still like have a better fight potentially and not get like killed
Yeah,
by a ton of damage.
it's a bit of a slow burn. Yeah,
Exactly. It's still tough to kill the enemy with the buff, but
yeah,
it feels better if you're like ahead and they have that buff versus ahead and they have Groudon.
yeah. Due to like the timing of when like that all goes down, like the fight and the secure, it's late game. Everyone has like their levels and they have their scaling, so everything's gonna be hurting. Everything's gonna be very bulky. So if you're ahead and like you manage to get it, you can still fight back. So smart stuff. But going back over to the Kyogre fight for game two, I noticed that you guys were being very composed there. They just weren't aggressive enough towards that final objective. What were you guys? What was some of the thought process going through you guys' minds?
We knew we had a big lead and we were able to get Toothless a back cap to increase that lead. And so in our minds, we knew they have to be the aggressor. And our comp has a lot of nice stuff to do when the enemy comes towards us with that. So we thought if we make them make the first mistake, we can capitalize on it and go with whatever they give us that way.
Interesting, interesting. We got someone from chat. We got an IOU slasher asking about the Delmise. I agree. That Delmise was such a nice pick. Delmise is really strong if you can land those hook shots. It's just so bulky and everything. Is Delmise a core like character in you guys' mon pool?
We are trying to add it a lot more, especially with Fearless Draft, because the tank pool dries up very quickly as the games get later and later.
Yes,
But
Delmise
no,
is an honorary defender. I agree.
Nog played great that game and had a bunch of amazing picks to set us up.
Not bad. I was also very impressed with the Typhlosion pick. It was able to just stuff out Comfy Zora. How are you guys feeling about that?
We think Typhlosion's very strong right now. That's why you see it get banned most games. It was banned the first two games, and then Toothless was able to just do her thing with it. She likes playing the character a lot.
How do you feel about Typhlosion in jungle as opposed to lane? I feel like it could be a bit flexible, but it being in jungle is like kind of ideal. You wanted to get to Eruption and Flame Wheel as soon as possible. There's such good moves. How you guys feel about Typhlosion there in either lane?
I think you can lane it. It's like possible, but it definitely thrives a lot more in jungle where it's like you said, able to get its levels and start terrorizing the rest of the map with its pressure.
Yeah, it's more of a carry in that regard, especially when it has ult. It just goes in and it becomes like a brawler that's just
Hmm.
raining down fiery meteors of doom.
It's an all-rounder in disguise.
It's an all-rounder in disguise. Agreed. Well, thanks for joining in for this interview. Congratulations once again to you guys. You guys,
Thank
yeah,
you,
fans
thank
in the
you.
chat. I can see that. We got Sluggers here saying, Sorbo alt Slugger. Yep. Sorbo couldn't do
Yeah.
too much. Yep, it got stuffed out. But yeah, as you know, this will be uploaded to Jakes2_Unite. It'll be published first, and VODs will show up subsequently. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but very soon. Look forward to that. You can also have VOD reviews there right away. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. And thank you, chat, for stopping by for tonight for another exciting set this Tuesday night. About to ready to call it here. You guys have a good one. Don't forget to say goodbye to chat.
Thank you. Take care, chat.
Peace.